Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I want to talk about Mary Marvel because Mary Marvel is getting a new 4-issue miniseries called Power of Shazam. What's it called? It's called Power of Shazam. And Mary Marvel is going to be taking it up. So she's going to be the new Mary Marvel, Power of Shazam, champion of Shazam, and I gotta say, I think it's kind of stupid. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I like Mary Marvel. I'm glad that they're trying to do something with her. But let's be honest. Ever since Jeff Johns introduced that diversity force adoption family thing angle on the Captain Marvel unit in DC comic books, the Marvel family hasn't really been the same since. And it seems like they only know what to do with Mary and Billy because of the history and years. And I kind of wish they went back instead of like, hey, why don't we just call? No, you do realize Mary Marvel's her own character. She doesn't even need that kind of nonsense. If anything, like, and we already told this story too. That's another thing too. Is that the story kind of have been told, especially through Mary, and Mary had such a growth change with her losing her powers and then finding other ways of getting the power of Shazam. You know what I'm saying? Like, hello, did we not forget 52? You know what I'm saying? Where she went to Black Adam, and then after that she went to Dark Side and got her power. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird that they decided to go this route. And why did you name the book Shazam and saying that, oh, this is going to take over? No, just call her Mary Marvel. That's what she is. That's who she is. Just call her Mary Marvel. Don't make such a big thing about it or whatever. I mean, because it is kind of dumb. It's really dumb. I know they're trying to like do more with the Marvel family, and I applaud that. But you might as well just retcon it, everything, where the Foster family is fake, and they resuscitate Mary Bonfield age, where him and Billy, or no, where she and Billy are the same age, like they're twins, so it's already weird enough. And remember, Mary Marvel doesn't get her power from the Rock of Eternity anyway, so it's kind of weird that they even did this whole, hey, let's Billy, Captain Marvel, have all of his powers, but the rest of them, their powers are split and divided, which is kind of dumb and kind of lazy, to be honest. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm glad Mary Marvel's getting some things, but it's kind of weird because she is like the first female, like family member kind of thing going on. Because Wonder Woman was a standalone, and then before Robin, I believe it was her. So she was like ahead of the curve when it came to like, being a member of a family or superhero identity shit, as like another person who had the power of Captain Marvel, but also had their own solo run. As it's really cool because I just don't understand why they don't go back to the original thing for Mary Marvel. I mean, that's just my opinion. I understand they want to try to do something different, but why do the whole thing? Why do this whole thing where, oh, okay, Billy actually is gone, right? And now we have Mary Marvel that's doing the whole thing. But I don't know. I'm just kind of annoyed that they did it, because we already know that they're only doing it because they want to try to do something different with the character. But if it was me, I would just actually, you know, just keep her the same. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. It definitely makes kind of sense, because you guys are just holding her back. I mean, holding the character back, to be honest. And I know it's kind of weird, but it is what it is. But I mean, I'm glad that we're doing something for Mary. I'm just kind of annoyed that it's at the detriment of the original Captain Marvel. But I already know they only doing it for a four issue miniseries, so that's great and all. But let's be honest, can we just get rid of this character? I mean, not can we just get rid of the whole entire Shazam family and bring back the original Marvel family? That's how I feel about it. I know it sounds mean or whatever, but I'm not trying to be mean. It's just that I don't really care about the rest of them, and I feel like ever since they added on there, they've been they've been like holding the Shazam family back. So ever since they put the whole diversity inclusion foster family in there, which is kind of weird because the foster family was already, I mean, the Marvel family was already a found family to begin with. So it's weird. And then of course, as you guys know, that another thing that people have to remember, Mary Marvel Shazam doesn't derive from Shazam himself. So Mary powers comes from goddesses. So you have Selena for grace, Hippolyta for strength, Adriana for skill, and Zevaricia. I know I said the person's. I know I said the goddess names wrong. For Freedoms, Aurora for beauty, and Minerva for wisdom. So that's how she get her powers and stuff like that. And of course, you have Captain Marvel Jr., who gets his powers by saying Captain Marvel. Um, and I always kind of find it weird that they kind of gave that a they gave it up. And because with the Marvel family was already kind of like a found family anyway, and that's the kind of thing that we actually need, not this I don't know what they're trying to do, because if you guys remember, the Marvel family, of course, was um Captain Marvel, of course. Then you had Captain Marvel. No, you had Captain Marvel Jr. Then you had Mary Marvel. You had the Tiny Tiger, Uncle Marvel, and then of course you had like little sidekicks, um, the little sidekicks that they had. So in the original one, it was like, okay, so we had Lieutenant Marvel, which was Fat Marvel, Hill Marvel, and Tall Marvel, and Captain Marvel Bunny. So you already had like a diverse group. I mean, well, not diverse, but you already had like a found family anyway, and that's kind of like what Billy wanted anyway. So it's weird that they were like, "Oh yeah, what'll be so cool? What if we bring back the Marvel family and we diversify them because reasons?" And then even when I was reading the Shazam Rebirth run, it was okay, but you can tell they really didn't know what to do with the kids. And the only kids they can really do something with is Billy and Mary Marvel because of the history that they have. So it's at the detriment of holding these characters back because you already like went all in with them because there's movies showing that family. And I'm like, okay, cool, but you need to do one of those things where in the comic books, the adoptive family loses their powers, loses memories. I don't care. Do a soft reboot of the Marvel family or bring back, the original history for Marvel, like the New Earth's history for them at least, and just have it where it's kind of like how magic is always weird or whatever, and let's say some magic happened, and in order to keep these kids and the adoptive family alive or whatever, Billy has to kind of forget all about them or whatever, and they have to forget all about him, which means they have to relinquish the powers or anything. Well, and it's for the greater good, but at the same time, it's kind of like we're going to do a semi-soft reboot, and we're going to kind of reintroduce the characters, but we're not going to bring in the diverse family or anything Billy will be back living with his uncle. Mary will be with the bomb fields. Freddie will be the little injured boy that Captain Marvel heals and say, "Hey, if you say my name, you can become Captain Marvel Jr." And then work our way from there. That way you can bring back, like, you can bring back Shazam. Shazam, it can be called Shazam, and in the book you can still call him Captain Marvel again, and then do Captain Marvel Jr. because who has the rights to that? No one, right? So let's just do that. Or you can call it CM3. I don't care what you do. Call it whatever you want to, but they were solid books. Captain Marvel Jr., and Mary Marvel, especially Mary Marvel. So it's kind of weird that we're trying to do something with the character, but a detriment of her older brother. And I understand it's kind of like the ramifications of what happened in Teen Titans Academy, because the book, whatever happens in Teen Titans Academy, spent off into Billy Batson having his own little 4-issue little miniseries, and then whatever happens in that book transition to Mary Marvel taking up the mantle, which is already kind of stupid because she already has a mantle. That's one of the things I really hate, is when they try to be like, oh, this character needs to take the mantle of this character. Who, for what reason? You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when they already are their own established hero outside of the main hero that they're part of. So it's weird that they say, hey, Mary Marvel should be the new Shazam. No, she should just be Mary Marvel. That's who she is. That is what she is. Like, let's keep it that way. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling about it. I probably will try to read it, see what's going on there. We'll see, because like I said, ever since Jeff Johns kind of rebooted Captain Marvel, it really hasn't been the same. And even though the Shazam Rebirth run was enjoyable, it was kind of lackluster because it just doesn't have the Captain Marvel zang and the big cheese that I'm want to read when I read Captain Marvel books and stuff like that. Especially, like, I think the last height they had for the Marvel family was like 52, and that was like years. That was a little few years ago. That and Shazam, the power, the trial of Shazam, where Billy Batson had transitioned into King Shazam, and then Freddie had to become the new Captain Marvel, and Mary Marvel had to go on like a redemption arc after the whole nonsense with Black Adam, and also Darkseid, and then she had to like reclaim her powers and become a better Mary Marvel than she was beforehand. And it was like really cool. Like those characters were challenged, they were different, and now they're just kind of ugh. And especially like Mary, she kind of gets the shaft because they took away her connection to her brother, which is weird. Like, why would you take away the connection of the brother from Mary Marvel? I find that very selfish, to be honest, DC. But it is what it is. You do you, DC. But like I said, I don't think we need to be doing this with the Marvel family. You need to be figuring out a way of how to make the Marvel family more exciting. But that's how I feel about the whole situation. But tell me what you guys think, comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.